Sarah, and this is my dog Banjo, and this is our van, Vanna White.
This content is sponsored by Outdoorsy. Through Outdoorsy, you can rent your camper van out to make extra cash, and you can rent a van to try van life before you commit.
So this van is a 2016 ProMaster 159 wheelbase, and I ended up in the van. This is actually a dream of mine dating back probably 10 years ago, and I actually got back from hiking the Pacific Crest Trail and decided I couldn't live in sticks and bricks anymore. I came across the van and it was a little impulsive, and all of a sudden I was like, okay, I guess we're building a van. So that's how it all came to be. All right, let's check it out. So starting in the entryway, I put my lights, main light switch right here, and it's on 2 zones, one in back, one in front. So just coming in the van, I can quickly flip on some lights to get in here. I have 2 Max Air fans, one in front, one in back. And I actually installed 3 windows that all vent, and that's, I always say the biggest thing that I tell people when they ask me about building is plan for ventilation. It has saved me this summer. When I have both fans on and all windows open, there gets a lot of airflow, and it's really kept me cool on the 90-degree days that we've been having. So we'll start with the counters. I actually bought a slab of wood. This is Beetle Kill Spruce, and I bought it because I loved my ceiling so much. Really, the ceiling kind of ended up being the inspiration for the whole design of the build. Bought the slab and treated it and made the countertops myself. It's actually why I didn't put a permanent stove, because I just wanted this nice countertop, and I think that was a good call. I use a camp stove. My sink and water system, I have a 22-gallon wheel well water tank under my bed, and it all is kind of connected to a SureFlow. And I really wanted a super deep sink because I wash my hair. I tend to use this as storage when I'm driving if I don't want to completely clean everything. This is really nice because I've used it as a shower outside before. I have a 7-gallon gray water tank, which is more than enough. I only have to empty it every 2 to 3 weeks, if that. On the countertop here, I have the spice rack, which I actually had beforehand. I think it's supposed to be a planter. I just secured it with Velcro, which is your best friend in a build. There's Velcro all over this build. I have a knife rack, and a lot of people ask if these ever fall. They have never fallen. I have been on some crazy roads, and it's a very, very strong magnet. So for my overhead cabinets, I really wanted a lot of storage, so I put 3 on each side. In terms of hardware, I just wanted something clean. Biggest things, I had originally installed these magnets on here to hold it shut, and had to get the heavy duty ones because first couple weeks things were, it just was a tornado. Things falling out of cabinets left and right. I used piano hinges mostly because I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know that I would do that again, because over time things have shifted, and you can kind of see that these are no longer completely level. I did install the struts, which I love. It's just nice having everything stay open. So to cook, like I said, I use a camp stove, which is just something I already had. I started with an induction cooktop. I found that it was limiting to me. It did use a lot of power. It was only 1 burner, and I just didn't like having to constantly worry about my power when cooking, for long periods of time. For my power setup, I have 2 Battleborn batteries, 200 amp hour, 400 watts of solar. I actually sized up my charge controller so that I could drop into solar panels if I needed to. So I have a 60 amp charge controller and a 2500 watt inverter. I did it all myself, which was probably the scariest part of this build, and I've always say that it felt like studying for a midterm. So just drafting diagrams, and I got it checked by 3 different professionals, just making sure that everything was right, my wires were right, my fuses, everything. Here is my pantry, and I opted to put my shelves on sliders. I was a little nervous to build drawers since all of this was so new. So this is my seating area, and it was really important for me to kind of land on this layout because I also work full-time from it, and so I needed a place that was big enough and comfortable so that I could work long days. Under this bench is my fridge. It's a Snowmaster, and I like it. It's the cooler style. I do sort of wish I had the standard kind of stand-up fridge. just because it is sometimes hard to dig to the bottom, but I got a screaming deal on it, and so I wasn't going to really question that. For my fridge, in terms of how long I can go with food, I would say 2-ish weeks if I really stretch it out. I like to go grocery shopping once a week or so if I can. I do use the Lagoon mount, and I use it a little different. The reason I went with this is that eventually I plan on dropping the table so that this would be a little love seat. But when I do go into work mode, I just flip my table around, and so it's a nice big space to work, which has been absolutely invaluable. I do love the size of this table, but I like that I can kind of flip it out and use it more as like a counter surface. On this seat, underneath is my toilet. It's a cassette toilet. I typically try to only use it for number one. It's easy to dump, but not super fun. And so I just opt to do that. I actually did end up buying a luggable loo for number two when I need it. I just found myself camping several times in cities or just places where there's not a lot of privacy. So just having something that I can rely on when I need to is really nice. Surprisingly, it's not as bad as I thought. This counter serves mostly as my bedside table, and I liked to have a lot of counter space. I just tend to use it all, especially when I'm cooking and stuff. This power hub has a USB, a regular outlet, and my battery monitor. So it's kind of nice. I could just glance at it in the morning, kind of to see where I'm at. And then this was just kind of a happy little accident because I decided to build this little hub. It's just like a little container to hold all the small little things, charging cables, pens. My painting was done by my very good friend Jill. She's very, very talented, and she just made a painting based on the colors that I used in my van, which I absolutely love, and she didn't intend for it to be in the space, but it's almost like it was made there. So for my bed, I knew that I wanted a raised bed. I just have a lot of gear, biking, hiking gear. I can sit up in it, which is nice. I did recently lower it a tiny bit, maybe 3 inches or so that Banjo can jump in it now. So that's really handy. I do sleep widthwise, and the only reason I can do that is that I framed out little cutouts on both sides. So having the additional length has been huge. I'm 5'10", and I don't know that I would fit comfortably had I not done that, so I'm grateful that I did. So this is a full-size bed. I did need to trim a little bit so that it fit within the cutout area. I also installed a 12-volt fan back there. Again, with the ventilation, it was absolutely huge just to have as much as I possibly could. Both windows at each side vent, and so it's very comfortable. So thank you so much for checking out our home. If you want to follow along on Banjo and my adventure, you can follow us on Instagram at The Darling Dirtbag, where we post all about our travels, the van, and Banjo being his silly self.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you hadn't noticed, we do sell an ebook for how to convert a van. It has over 190 pages of detailed instructions and diagrams, also 25 video tutorials which are specifically for the ebook buyer. Creating a van for many people is obviously a really intimidating project, but I really believe, and I've seen it time and time and time again, that with the right information, anyone can turn out with a pretty decent van conversion. So check the link in the description, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and drop us a comment if you like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.